those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Plus 108.
Statement of affairs.
The Speaker, I've been studying, and I can see that the Speaker. Let's be careful the way we do things in this house. That's why we have rules in this house. Order 91, Mr. Speaker, you call for order 48.
Plus 108.
It's been 1 hour. You are condoning an illegality.
108.
That's why there must be rules and order. And now what you are doing, Mr. Speaker, you are involving yourself in an illegality. We are saying that we don't have the number to take a decision. You are carrying on. You don't have the number to take you don't have a quorum. You are still carrying on. What is then make use of our constitution and then the standard orders?
Honorable Chairman.
That is not fair. You are abusing the privilege of this house. You are making this house lawless. You are making this house lawless, Mr. Speaker. What you are doing is wrong. You should know that. If you believe the house, what you want to do is to
Mr. Speaker.
What is happening?
108.
You don't have the number to take a decision. You don't have a quorum. The constitution
Plus
has
2.
that the standard orders have made that.
Line 1.
You want to ignore all that and still carry on.
Amendment proposed.
What kind of behavior is this?
Delete accompanied.
And then we are all talking about lawlessness outside.
And instead
What is
supported.
that?
So the new rendition would be the statement shall be supported with an affidavit to
And as a
verify
house,
the
I think
statement
that led by you, we should
and
go ahead
shall
and say,
indicate.
we have our own rules.
I so
We have the
move,
constitution
Mr.
of our
Speaker.
country. We don't to do as we please. We think that is right. That is an illegality and should not be championed by the Speaker. That is terrible. What kind of thing is this? You have rules, you don't want to follow the rules. You just want to do as you please. What is this? We are in a country of law. And we as lawmakers should be seen to be the first to adhere to the rules. Not to just do as we please.
Honorable Chairman, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, clause 108, amendment proposed, subclause 2, line 1, delete accompanied, and insert supported. So the new rendition would be the statement shall be supported with an affidavit to verify the statement and shall indicate. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, the proposed amendment for constitution of the House. And I'll put a question. All those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Chairman.
Mr. Speaker, further amendment, subclause 2, paragraph C, line 3, before company, insert the article there. So the new rendition would be the names, residential and postal addresses, and the occupations of the creditors of the company held by the creditors of the company. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, the proposed amendments for constitution of the House. All those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Further amendment as advertised. Chairman of the committee.
Mr. Speaker, subclause 5, lines 3 and 4. Delete more than 200 penalty units for each day during which the default continues, and insert the following: less than 5,000 penalty units and not more than 1,000 penalty units. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, the proposed amendments for constitution of the House. All those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Further amendment, Chairman of the committee.
Subclause 7, Mr. Speaker, lines 3 and 4. Delete contempt of court and insert perjury. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, the proposed amendments for your constitution. All those in favor of the motions of the amendment say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. And the question is, clause 108 as variously amended to stand part of the bill. All those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Clause 109.
Settlement of list of contributories.
Yes, Honorable
Contempt of court, and he said,
The Speaker, the chief whip of the minority stood up and made some remarks, which I find very unfortunate. The Speaker, you are responsible for maintaining order in the House. And the order in the House includes a member rising up to be recognized by you before the person makes a presentation of any submission. You don't just get up and then you start rambling on and rattling on. That is unacceptable. Speaker, the maintenance of law and order in that enterprise, leadership is supposed to assist you. So if you have a leader who is aggrieved by whatever, and the person wants to make a submission, that person must also respect the rules of the House. And in particular, if it relates to the conduct of the Speaker, our rules are also clear. If it has to do with the conduct of the member, or the Speaker, or the Chief Justice, or any judge, the rules are clear. That you come by a substantive motion, as provided for under Order 93(5). But to get up and fly into tantrums, the Speaker, that is also unacceptable. We should be regulated by our own rules of procedure. That is what I would say for now, Mr. Speaker. Fly into tantrums,
We
the
shall
Speaker, that
proceed.
is also unacceptable. We should be regulated by
109.
our own
Chairman
rules
of the committee. All those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Clause 108.
Statement of affairs.
The Speaker, I've been studying, and I yes, and I can see that the Speaker. Let's be careful the way we do things.
Clause
That's why we are rules in
108.
this House. Order 91, Mr. Speaker, you call for order 48.
Clause
That means
108.
it's been 1 hour. You are condoning an illegality.
108.
That's why there must be rules and order. And now what you are doing, Mr.
Clause
Speaker, you are
108.
involving yourself in an illegality. We are saying that we don't have the number to take a decision. You are carrying on. You don't have the number to take you don't have a quorum. You are still carrying on. What is then make use of our constitution and then the standard orders?
Honorable Chairman.
That is not fair. You are abusing the privilege of this house. You are making this house lawless. You are making this house lawless, Mr. Speaker. What you are doing is wrong. You should know that. If you believe the house, what you want to do is to
Mr. Speaker,
what is happening?
108.
You don't have the number to take a decision. You don't have a quorum. The
Sub
constitution
clause
has declared
2.
that the standard orders have made that
Line
very clear.
1.
You want to ignore all that and still carry on.
Amendment
What kind
proposed.
of behavior is this?
Delete accompanied.
And then we are all talking about lawlessness outside.
And it said
What is
supported.
that?
So the new rendition would be the statement shall be supported with an affidavit to
And as a
verify
house,
the
I think
statement.
that led by you, we should
and
go ahead
shall
and say,
indicate.
we have our own rules.
I so
We have the
move,
constitution
Mr.
of our
Speaker.
country. We don't to do as we please. We think that is right. That is an illegality and should not be championed by the Speaker. That is terrible. What kind of thing is this? You have rules, you don't want to follow the rules. You just want to do as you please. What is this? We are in a country of law. And we as lawmakers should be seen to be the first to adhere to the rules. Not to just do as we please.
Honorable Chairman, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, clause 108, amendment proposed, subclause 2, line 1, delete accompanied, and insert supported. So the new rendition would be, the statement shall be supported with an affidavit to verify the statement and shall indicate. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, the proposed amendment of the Constitution of the House. And I'll put a question. All those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Chairman.
Mr. Speaker, further amendment, subclause 2, paragraph C, line 3, before company, insert the article there. So the new rendition would be the names, residential and postal addresses, and the occupations of the creditors of the company held by the creditors of the company. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, the proposed amendments for consideration of the House. All those in favour say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Further amendment as advertised. Chairman of the committee.
Mr. Speaker, subclause 5, lines 3 and 4. Delete more than 200 penalty units for each day during which the default continues, and insert the following: less than 5,000 penalty units and not more than 1,000 penalty units. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, the proposed amendment is for consideration of the House. All those in favour say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Further amendment, Chairman of the committee.
Subclause 7, Mr. Speaker, lines 3 and 4. Delete contempt of court and insert perjury. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, the proposed amendment is for consideration. All those in favour of the motions of the amendment say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Any questions? Clause 108 as variously amended to stand part of the bill. All those in favour say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Clause 109.
Settlement of list of contributories.
Yes, Honourable Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the chief whip of the minority stood up and made some remarks, which I find very unfortunate. Mr. Speaker, you are responsible for maintaining order in the House. And the order in the House includes a member rising up to be recognized by you before the person makes a presentation of any submission. You don't just get up and then you start rambling on and rattling on. That is unacceptable. Speaker, the maintenance of law and order in that enterprise, leadership is supposed to assist you. So if you have a leader who is agreed by whatever, and the person wants to make a submission, that person must also respect the rules of the House. And in particular, if it relates to the conduct of the Speaker, our rules are also clear. If it has to do with the conduct of a member, or the Speaker, or the Chief Justice, or any judge, the rules are clear that you come by a substantive motion, as provided for under Order 93.5. But to get up and fly into tantrums, the Speaker, that is also unacceptable. We should be regulated by our own rules of procedure. That is what I would say for now, Mr. Speaker.
We shall continue. 109, Chairman of the committee. All those in favour say aye. Those against say no.
All right. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I hope you guys are doing very good. I hope you guys are doing good. It's a very good night. If you can hear me, just let me know you can hear me. I'll be very happy if you can hear me. If you can hear me, please let me know the sound is clear before I go on. But baby, I will be nyakopo unshira na onyo kese. I ni wajo bojugba ne hani oyo here ojugba. Ye fe no your fan. Mingabo ojugba le hungmane mangabo. Ye fe no your ye fe mayo. All right, so today is a different day. In fact, I've been very disappointed. I've been very disappointed the whole day. But before I register my displeasement, let me say hello to a few people. Essen Kwesi Joseph, he says good. Asuma Vasco says low volume. I hope it's settled now. I saw that earlier. Patisco Quilly, my queen, how are you doing? Hello, Linda Ofusu. Linda Ofusu, how are you doing? Good evening, Sapporo, he says. She says. All right, so Asuma Vasco said good evening. And then Patisco Quinley. Good evening, my boss. Oh, you are my boss. All right, how are you guys doing? It's another day. This whole weekend I was away. I was away on road. But I'm back, and you can see the difference from my face. Yes, you can see the difference from my face. Thank you very much. I want to use this opportunity to thank um, Honorable Komiyeye, Honorable Komiyeye, I and Ato. Uh, I use this opportunity to thank you too, and I use the opportunity to also thank Stephen. Okay, and I thank the councilman for Delaware, also, and thank you very much. And Honorable Komiye, thank you very much for the hospitality. It was very superb, and God bless you. Onyankopɔn nhyira wo na ɔnyɛ ɔkɛsɛ baabi a wɔ bi a I yɛbɛdu yɛsettle. Me hope say bibia ɛkɔ kama yɛgu so ɛkyɛkekyɛke nneɛma ɛtutu nneɛma yɛgu so kyekyekyeke nneɛma. For the hospitality, it was very superb, and God bless you. All right, sound is very good to me on YouTube as much as I know. All right, so the first video I showed you was a video of how the previous, Speaker of Parliament treated minority, and I wanted to just let you know how NPP people behave. In fact, and I know my basa when infe shrao infe basa. If I share more video, share more video, juba. Any actually wrap up, I wrap up, and it's mainly shown on Laos Silence TV, and this channel is the best of channels in the whole of Ghana and the whole of West Africa, whether you like it or not. The boss is Kevin Taylor. Kevin Taylor, God bless you, and God bless the hard work that you're doing. God will continue to bless you no matter what. And what we are hoping for, I know God is going to give us the peace. And I was happy when you said that you would never stop until you educate the people. And so we will do also. And tigmene mi hanon only ake noni yaro Ghana benit share in our Ghana benit share in our ojogba ne befopo in our no me hanon like ni bi ni ya no one day noni baba ajake ma ni wo yo mi ekufado efite ma ekufado efite ma ni ma na efite enako enako ake yeneke ma ya ne enako ake yeneke ma ya ne ke ma nya se wa ne se wo ya wo he ke ma nya se ni eye ahunto ojugba ahunto in ho happy shingmane obaya wo here still I told my shinga preacher and nini no na ne on our Laos Silence TV. Yes, on our Laos Silence TV, straight up 23 African countries including Ghana. Ni when you were here who fair for when you were here fair and when what fe Benny be ale she will let know about fee than to keep fighting. Yes, we will keep fighting. All right, so as I spoke to you earlier on, my name is Machine Gun Preacher, and you're watching this wrap up from Safro TV, and the main platform is Laos Silence TV. Again, this is Kevin Taylor's the vigilante, the one vigilante, the only one vigilante. Yes, the boss of the boss. Kevin Taylor, Nakupon Shroud, and Okan, Okaswa, Ebebem, or Siodifu. And so, on Kra Bible, on Sasun Kra Koran, I'm Nakupon Ebishao. Some say what they are mehu, on Nakupon on Shanon Pejao. I some what they are mehu pa, Nakupon Shroud, my feel pa, my feel pa, Beshaw, so papa. But your menu, some say what they are, but your Shishano, some say what they are. Type Facebook, YouTube, you're going to find this lady there. Or fire pa. Or fire. I Bebu Enoch. Also behu pa. Bebu Enoch. Behu. Na me shot no page no kese. I de bia wo ha. Wo de wo kete krache ndie. Umfendi agoro. Kete krache. Na kupo onshra. I gegusu ko yanim. All right. So baby edu eno no. I obese obeka show no ho asem bia. Mesro enye ding enye ding ubetuma friend 0015083400069 egu screen so ubetuma save WhatsApp no friend WhatsApp near ding kobo ho enti mesro me break and a baby.
The question was put. Now let's ask ourselves, it means that Parliament began voting because the vote was on the question. The speaker put the question. At the time the speaker put the question, there were 273 members of parliament in the chamber. With the exception, there were 137 members of parliament on the NDC side. There was 135 members of the MPP, and then there was one independent candidate. The MPP did not have two of their members. Honorable Ashwe and then Honorable Adwasafo were not in the chamber. Those two were not in the chamber. A private jet had been sent to Germany to pick up Honorable Ashwe. The jet took off from Germany at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. It had a 6-hour, 30-minute flight time. He was to arrive Ghana, touch down by 8:30, and the expectation was that by 9 p.m. he could make it to the chamber. Adwasafo was still a no-show at that time. And so, when the question was put, we had 137. Even with the independent voting with them, they would have 136. A voice vote was put. At that time, we had 4 ministers of state in the chamber. Ministers of state are allowed to take part in the debates of parliament, but do not have a voting right. Now, when the question was put, the majority side said aye. The minority side said no. The speaker, in his ruling, determined that the noes had it. A vote had commenced. A vote had been completed. There was a vote. Now, I repeat again, at the time that vote started, there were 273 members of parliament, way beyond the 138 need of Article 104 of the Constitution. Now, if you go to an election and the EC declares a result, and one party says they are not comfortable with the result, they want a recount. Randy, is a recount a new election or a continuation of the existing election?
The continuation.
So, the speaker has ruled. Then, the deputy minority leader, my very good friend, Afenyo Makin, stands up and within his right, legally and rightfully so, challenges Mr. Speaker's ruling. Right, under our standing order 112, and said he wants and you see, when you challenge the Speaker's ruling on a voice vote, there are 2 routes. You either call for a head count or a vote by division. Now, when you call for a head count, what would then happen is the Speaker would ask that they mention the names of MPs, constituency by constituency, and you vote. And the clerks at table would take record openly, public voting. So, it's recorded. Afenyo Makin, Efutu, he stands up. Yes, it's recorded. And when they finish mentioning all the names, you tally it, and that's it. That's a head count. But when you ask for a vote by division, and I will read what the standing orders say on a vote by division.
Can you read 113 all the way to 114?
Yes, I will.
Yes, sir.
I will. That's the procedure on division.
Yes. So just
good.
Just read
I'll read the whole thing. It says Okay, let me even start from voting by members. 112. 1. When the question has been put by Mr. Speaker at the conclusion of the debate, the vote shall be taken by voices aye and no, provided that Mr. Speaker, in his discretion, instead of declaring the results on the voice vote, call for a head count. So the Speaker can say that, the voice vote is inconclusive, so I want a head count. Yeah. That's a discretion. Or 2, a member may call for a head count or division. A member, not the Speaker, a member. If the opinion of Mr. Speaker on the voice vote is challenged, and that's what Afenyo did. Afenyo challenged Mr. Speaker's decision on the voice vote. Now, a member had the opportunity to call for a head count or for division. In the case of a head count, Mr. Speaker shall take the vote of the House by calling upon members who support or oppose his decision successively to rise in their places. That's what I just described, the first instance. So that's a head count. They will call members successively and you state whether you oppose or support the decision. A member may vote in a division even if he did not hear the question put. 5, a member is not obliged to vote. So you can choose to abstain. Then we go to a procedure on division. So I've just read what a vote by head count will be. Now a vote by division. And this will address the issue of whether ministers had to leave the chamber or not. In the case of a division, which is what the Honorable Afenyo Makin asked for, if you play the tape, he asked for a division, a vote by division. And you see, the vote by division is a cumbersome, very long, lengthy process. It could take 3 hours to finish one vote on division. And I'm telling you, I told you earlier, they were waiting for the arrival of an MP from Germany. So they were trying to buy time. So instead of going for a head count, which could have finished in about 45 minutes, they chose to go for a vote by division, which would take 3 hours, at the very least. The question was put. Now, let's ask ourselves. It means that Parliament began voting.
All right, guys, this is very good. This is just Sam George explaining and kwasasemo sa enkrofo ebi ediye ewo Parliament that very day. Ni no ne mabi acho ne njiake akanyake. Kefie shobe komani kefie wakani bi sho. Ni ka wakani bi hwe ni bi ba yi woshishi. Ganafo. Yesi ebedi agura enemo be fayase. Na mi bisa one question say anye bia odi yemfa ne say MPP4 MPP4 and NDC4 NDC4. Inti me question me bisa ne say me bisa wo a wo hwe me anwume ne say inti anye bia MPP4 omodwen Ghana for hwana. And one me question. That's all I want to ask you. Nothing else, and that's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. So I'll show you again the video so that you can peruse it again. The
question was put. Now let's ask ourselves. It means that Parliament began voting because the vote was on the question. The Speaker put the question. At the time the Speaker put the question, there were two members, Honorable Ashwe and then Honorable Adjasafo, were not in the chamber. Those two were not in the chamber. A private jet had been sent to Germany to pick up Honorable Ashwe. The jet took off from Germany at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. It had a 6-hour, 30-minute flight time. He was to arrive Ghana, touchdown by 8. Now, let's ask ourselves. It means that Parliament began voting because the vote was on the question. The Speaker put the question. At the time the Speaker put the question, there were 273 members of Parliament in the chamber. With the exception, there were 137 members of Parliament on the NDC side. There was 135 members of the MPP and then there was one independent candidate. The NPP did not have two of their members, Honorable Ashe and then Honorable Adwasafo, were not in the chamber. Those two were not in the chamber. A private jet had been sent to Germany to pick up Honorable Ashe. The jet took off from Germany at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. It had a 6-hour, 30-minute flight time. He was to arrive Ghana, touchdown by 8:30, and the expectation was that by 9 p.m. he could make it to the chamber. Adwasafo was still a no-show at that time. And so, when the question was put, we had 137. Even with the independent voting with them, they would have 136. A voice vote was put. At that time, we had 4 ministers of state in the chamber. Ministers of state are allowed to take part in the debate of parliament, but do not have a voting right. Now, when the question was put, the majority side said aye. The minority side said no. The speaker, in his ruling, determined that the noes had it. A vote had commenced. A vote had been completed. There was a vote. Now, I repeat again, at the time that vote started, there were 273 members of parliament, way beyond the 138 need of Article 104 of the Constitution. Now, if you go to an election and the EC declares a result, and one party says they are not comfortable with the result, they want a recount. Randy, is a recount a new election or a continuation of the existing election? So, the speaker has ruled. Then, the deputy minority leader, my very good friend, Afenyo Martin, stands up and within his right, legally and rightfully so, challenges Mr. Speaker's ruling. Right, under our standing order 112. And said he wants a, and you see, when you challenge the Speaker's ruling on a voice vote, there are two routes. You either call for a head count or a vote by division. Now, when you call for a head count, what would then happen is the Speaker would ask that they mention the names of MPs, constituency by constituency, and you vote. And the clerks at table would take record openly, public voting. Ningo Pram Pram, Sam Nate George, I stand up, I raise my hand. No, it's recorded. Afenyo Martin, Efutu, he stands up. Yes, it's recorded. And when they finish mentioning all the names, you tally it, and that's it. That's a head count. But when you ask for a vote by division, and I will read what the standing orders say on a vote by division.
Can you read the 113 all the way to 114?
Yes, I will.
Yes, sir.
I will. That's the procedure on division.
Yes. So just
good. I'll read the whole thing. It says, okay, let me even start from voting by members. 112. 1. When the question has been put by Mr. Speaker at the conclusion of the debate, the vote shall be taken by voices aye and no, provided that Mr. Speaker, in his discretion, instead of declaring the results on the voice vote, call for a head count. So the Speaker can say that, the voice vote is inconclusive, so I want a head count. That's a discretion. Or 2, a member may call for a head count or division. A member, not the Speaker, a member. If the opinion of Mr. Speaker on the voice vote is challenged, and that's what Afenyo did. Afenyo challenged Mr. Speaker's decision on the voice vote. Now, a member had the opportunity to call for a head count or for division. In the case of a head count, Mr. Speaker shall take the vote of the House by calling upon members who support or oppose his decision successively to rise in their places. That's what I just described, the first instance. So that's a head count. They will call members successively, and you state whether you oppose or support the decision. A member may vote in a division, even if he did not hear the question put. 5, a member is not obliged to vote. So you can choose to abstain. Then we go to a procedure on division. So I've just read what a vote by head count will be. Now, a vote by division. And this will address the issue of whether ministers had to leave the chamber or not. In the case of a division, which is what the Honorable Afenyo Martin asked for, if you play the tape, he asked for a division, a vote by division. And you see, the vote by division is a cumbersome, very long, lengthy process. It could take 3 hours to finish one vote on division. And I'm telling you, I told you earlier, they were waiting for the arrival of an MP from Germany. So they were trying to buy time. So instead of going for a head count, which could have finished in about 45 minutes, they chose to go for a vote by division, which would take 3 hours at the very least. The question was put.
So on the ground is giving me a tidbit, and I'm also doing some analysis here, and I'm being told by on the ground that the Ajua Safo that was at basically the how do you call it, the parliament to vote as Ajua Safo was fake. I'm believing that it was fake. Okay, and you see, Ghana for unim ebia na newspaper review ka menye ebia newspaper review no I won't do it. Share ebi so ameye. Share, you know something? There is a point coming that Ghana will be in a very deep hole that we may never even be able to come out. Me catch them me see MPP for so we are Ghana for. I am only asking, my only question today, I am asking you today is that if MPPs are really Ghanaians and they really love Ghana and they represent their people indeed, my question is, why would the president order the jet of the presidential jet to go to Germany to go and pick up one member of parliament? Honorable Achere, baby, Ghana air code Akufo-Addo. Me see who Akufo-Addo may try me very possible say mimbie mano na minkasentia ewo kwaya efa asundwe emba Ghana. But so far as I know, you are the president. You are mischievous, you are a fool, and you always be a fool. If nobody will tell you, I'm telling you, your behavior in this our country and the way you're treating Ghanaians, Akufo-Addo, I am telling you point blank. Say who would here me boom person Akufo frew. Mama way or frewa anyway men kata. Egu so sa ye the glue kotokuo miensa ebegu anyase wani kata da. You are a bad man. You are a very, very bad man. And you are very, very wicked. And you are very, very myopic. And you are very, very bad. I'm trying to choose my words very carefully. Akufo-Addo, I'm telling you, and I'm saying this, that rent rent Ghana sekana wo sini wuni e de hwe wo ma wo ko school ti wa dwe na wo kura no e Jimmy asai odwamoro here. And I'm telling you, I don't blame the stupid man. I blame Ghanaians. Do you know why I blame Ghanaians? Because we told you, we warned you, we spoiled our time, we spoiled our credit, we spoiled our internet, we spoiled everything, time, strength. When people are warning you, don't vote for this lunatic. And nobody wanted to hear us out because people thought it was all about politics, and politics is all we are doing. Ghana for Jimmy yo, ye money. What I say? Now I'm saying, if a president can be this, oh, that's what I'm saying. If Parliament was doing their job, thinking about the country, and firstly not the parties. Akufo-Addo kwa system na Jimmy se no odi no onye Eti ya buano mani di kwasi a short man like that. I'm sorry for using that word because because umbume you don't respect me. Kwasi ampenyini mi tia broche mi senisika e de bagana. Obiso tia broche e senisika de bagana. People are sending their monies to come to Ghana. At the end of the year, it will grow with cocoa. It may grow with gold. But you don't respect us. The very little money we want sent to our parents, our family, our loved ones, our friends to help them build a second life. Akufado, you want to take it away. And I'm telling you, if the gods of the land exist, Akufado may say, whoa, may say, whoa, may say, Akufado, whoa, whoa, when it was here, a bad time. Yes, Satan will say, Wuko. I ebia sebi manda sumla so ebia Akufado so ewako I na ebia dachi na mama so ai dey ewuko but those that are gone went a grand style and with respect, but you Akufado me say no matter how they handle your corpse, if you're not careful your corpse will fall off, it will fall off out of your coffin. Yes, let me catch you. So what are you here? Bonia would dig Ghana for no. Mrs. What are you me see? Woof from the car, if it's being handled, it will fall off, it will open and you will fall out. Because me who say who ya dem probably Ghana. Jimmy for, and I'm not afraid to tell you this. Jimmy, you are useless. You are a useless president. I don't care what anybody will tell me. We are useless president. And you see other useless people also backing you. We had a falcon. We had a falcon. We had a falcon. Falcon. Atamis rode the falcon, flew in the falcon. Mahama flew in the falcon. There came you also. The shortest amongst all of them also rode the falcon. You flew in the falcon. All of a sudden, you turned the falcon into a Fokker 28. Instead of a falcon, you turned it into a Fokker 28. All you're doing that falcon is fucking in it. Yes, Fokker 28. That's what you turn the how do you call it? The Dutch into. When your princesses lived their life with respect, because your father was as useless as you, like father, like son. So and can sit and can try and live differently apart from that. When you say question me catch me say Akufado abobra lawyer or as useless as I am. The difference between him is that I'm taller than him, I'm more handsome than him, and I will not in any way treat my country with disrespect like this. What I say? Now what to me two jets? Tie Akufado. What to me cause a won't rent your jet now? Yeah, tono. And to me call long distance. Akufado. What to me fat jet? To me send a jet? No, and they confer one member of parliament because you know what you are doing. There we ain't uni bonia woody, but me catch Akufado be say. One here. Who from that kadachi? Ebe free actor. Ebe more ne ebe from ebe bie ne bia ube free ato ni absa pejaw you don't respect Ghanaian people, you don't respect Ghanaians. No, you see obi kwa siebta chairman sabosu Jimmy before the chairman sabosu ni refa bi ofi on the buy. He's forgotten where he came from. And you know, for the members of parliament, the NDC parliamentarians, we say God bless you. You have done your part. You have done your part. And we will respect you for that, for standing up. We thank God. It's sad. It's very, very sad. And then me who be a was to a school on the answer be a chairman sabosu. Now you know what? It's because we Ghanaians yempe basa basa basa. I enuntia. But I'm still praying. I'm still praying that the worst will happen. Me masani sika de ko Ghana ko mama brewa. Me auntie abrewo bi oti the baby. Me mami anase be nim nyelmu om ti baby. Anan koda do munisika masani 1,000 Ghana si enche mo mo. Wo be so ka che me say, wo be to be 1 Ghana cedi 75, 1% 175%. Wo be te fe sika no so. No mu kono mo isuwa. What's that jemu 1 Ghana 175%? That is double taxing. I don't care about the fuel. I don't care about the gas. What I'm saying is that if you want to do that, fine, I understand you. People who buy gas will buy gas. It will still make people hard. People are still going to be in trouble anyway by hardship, but not the little money that they have. What are the people who have to pay for lorry fare? You charge them double. Now, Munchemi, Ekufado say, "Oye ni papa no onyansa. Jimino, kawajai. Wow, womunim di owoye. They know what they are doing. They want to rip Ghana off. They want to rip Ghana off, milk Ghana dry. They want to milk Ghana very, very, very dry. And that's what they want to do. That's what they're trying to do. And this is my problem. And I will never forget this behavior. And I will not stop. And I will always defend my people with my heart. I don't care what you think. If I be home. She said, "Unwin who say dear woman a bonny say dear a be hard journey. Now you see I won't cost ya. I'm telling you, Wusu a benyon. Na me danya mesa wo ha wo tie no kure. Ntede miase. Now you how Akufo-Addo is, look at how Kevin Taylor is struggling. Look at how he's struggling. Look at him today. Look at him today. What I say? Look at him today. And we say, oh, it's normal. This is not normal. This is sick. And I'm going to say to you, it is sick. Now let me show you something. Mami, what you have. If you look at this picture right here, look at this picture right here. I'm showing you this picture for a reason. I'm showing you this picture here. Look at this picture. This is impossible. The picture you are seeing now is impossible. But you know what? It is happening in Ghana. That the elephant is squeezing and squishing, standing on the very people. In case you don't know what elephant can do with its trunk, just lift up any tree at all and throw it out. Push anything at all. This is how strong elephants are. And just imagine an elephant standing on the back of that little innocent poor woman or poor man. And this is where I ask myself, is MPP really representing their people? And all I want to start saying is that, and every day that I come on here, I'll say it. I say those MPP parliamentarians, most of them must lose seats, including Oseche Mansabunsu, because he has deserted and rejected the people that they represent. Minority has never failed for 4 years. Minority never failed your budget. Minority never failed your budget. They always push your budget through. All we're asking you that, hey, some more tax, not tidal waves, I walk it. Go bring something into the budget to feed them, to make them feel better, to make them live life as if they are also Ghanaians. That's all this minority were asking. They were not asking much. That's all they were asking. You could have fixed this. You could have simply fixed this to show Ghanaians that you love and you care for them. Because you before taxes, meanwhile, you don't even go to parliament. Why is there accountability for that? You don't even go to parliament. Upon what we are paying you for, you are not, going to parliament as you're supposed to. For time memorial, there is no quorum, there's not enough people to vote, there's not enough people to go business, and all this, and these things go on every day, every damn day. Who told you, as a responsible country, who told the United States a congressman will stay out of Congress? Who told you a senator will stay out of Senate? They understand that is their job. They love their country. They serve their country. They are the ones called honorable, and they love their country. So now you are telling me that you don't care about Ghanaians and what Ghanaians are saying. And someone like Mr. Bosu or say Mr. Bosu will come and tell Ghanaians that useless and stupid man. Useless and stupid man. You are. Multi parliament you forgotten what you're supposed to be doing for the people. You are serving your own stupid interests, your own selfish interests for the parties, instead of the people that voted your poor, dirty asses to parliament. But what you can agree on is vote yourself to raise your stupid, how do you call it, pay cut out your stupid salaries. Easy. You agree on that? You stupidly agree. Easy. To get new vehicles, new houses, and so forth. Do you even care? Do you think about how the very poor man on the side of the road survive every fucking day? Do you care? Mukota parliament and kwasiasem mudia gross and koda you play like children. You play like children. Kevin Ekanasem or say ebi bebre but ebi bebre achimbi ebi bebre achimbi kwasiasem mote Ghana electric bill crab for to be electric bill. You can't even fucking do the very simple you are called to fucking do as a people, for Christ's sake. Let me tell you, ECG cannot even continue taking bills, common electricity bills, to the residences of the people that use them. They cannot. Now, no, be frame. As someone catch me say, you have bill in 3 months. And that bill the unity PA no. Now bill need them 2,000. 2,000. Building them 2,000. Bill now, one be check it. No one dia kwako sheni pano diano. Ye chabu boarding just for light. Ye chabu boarding no. Munfa bill no kwani nko chiaba muso amunt eno kuraso emudin muntu me. What kind of a country is this? What kind of a country that we are here? On my ben leader ben kwasiam penny bena e brima ko fa betu yesui. And what your mama can say me? Or say Ghanaians have short memory. It wasn't because he thought he was going to do some things and then Ghanaians are going to forget. Oh. No, he said Ghanaians have short memory. Number one, because they have forgotten who MPP was. Yes. Maybe a question. When Mama was president, did he bring any levy? Any e-levy? Did he charge any electronic transactions? No, he did not. But he built Ghana to that level. When the Betchem say, Ekufado bao ba ye, e can obeti ye, obeti nika, Ekufado. You people must rise up and ask Ekufado to resign. He is a useless midget. Yes, I'm saying it. Useless midget. You don't respect me? I tell you, I don't respect you. Se umbumia mi mimbuo. Se umbumia mimbuda. Because mama oye 10 now. No, mumfuso onye nipano. O baye no. O mine no se de tie no. O fane sa. Sikahi and mama bo kali here nyema. Ekufado mi bisao. Useless president. Tell me. Associate your mind or chinipa home, or sees your man or cinema, quasia puff 47 mobile near a sugar factory, sugar factory, see what I see me be a machine with your womb. Munji longa cadamun dear. What's that on your priority? because mu dua ahwe dia because the mama dey see nti no mo akwasiafo mu sem kwasia yaw mu ye jimifo mu ye moa. And I'm being real with you. So won't see and I would auto na hawa me ehame because I think about the old lady. Me dream abrewana sebi ote Ghana na ebia na ka ese aban ene mane bibi kakra odi because onye juma. Okay? Making awareness all her life. Wa pension Jobe di krama. Now, when you be ama wasia, usambo no krono. When you be ama wasia, usambo no krono, ekufado, usambo no krono. Sikawa Virginia 355 billion ekufado, only 4 years. Ekufado, 4 years. You have spent 355 billion. More than what Kwame Nkrumah, what Kufuor, what Tamils, what Mahama did. You alone. You have done it on your term. And that tells how incompetent that you are, how useless you are, Ekufado, how useless you are, that you treating Ghanaians, you take our money and you use it for what you want to use it for, Ekufado. Now we are, now a car 2 years so, and then, Ofo say, what you yes, can I say, be able to most can be able to know what the taxes bet to a man so, say, by Nunga Senka, Ekufado, would you want you soon by him, say, no, was a account. Ekufado, Mr. Woodjo, so one Jew, and him go as a becount. Ah, and him go as a becount. Ya comes my anchor, and ne, Minu Menuna. Namian Pata, who's the Sikako Ghana? It's 175. It is all look of more beer, or so yes, Carapape, Nascadeso. Just imagine if they are charging you, let me put it here so that you can see. Aye, but what in eh? Any who said 1,000 Ghana can I get 10 cities on Komoji? They said Omojo 27 cities. I 17 cities on Matuso. In the 17 cities, no. Say, who send it 1,000 now. I was say, who make sure say, or don't know, but just 70 cities on Betty Fish. I was say, with the extra 17 and 20 Ghana cities etoso. Yes. Ne balances had a cigano. Et who bet you double. Me and Miss no, bet you double. Na doko yi so no, bet you double. Karena kama for this mobile money, and I get to idea. Okope ojina no abok pa ola tum o cheka wa dina jeno do baby ene sa se kan do baby twa de no iba be doso iba be toso e bi ba be toso e de Kufado juma wo di ye I don't know e de be nti enye boni na wo ti ma Kufado wo presidential jet who could member of parliament ebeye die. Now let's see what the Joseph they brought over there. Let's see the Joseph they brought, and I'm going to show you omodi achenchina. Now, look at this. Look at this person. Who does this person look like? Anybody in parliament? Does this look like Adwasafu? I'm asking. Does this look like Adwasafu? Do you know the reason why they want to walk out? The reason why they had to walk out was that if they are doing a head count, Adwasafu, the fake Adwasafu will be told will be caught. Yes! Missy, the reason why they all worked out is because of this. Unless, of course, Adjosafo goes to do a plastic surgery. But as much as I know about Adjosafo, she is fine already. No one offended that. We hear plastic surgery. And the way Adjosafo. When we tell you these people, so-called people are diabolic, you think we are joking. They have not changed. They have a hidden ideology. They have a hidden nature within the party that they can do things like this. Send such an imposter to the member of to parliament. Masa, me say, adi ukumi. O baswa fasoja fo pa bra. Ye beka no kure no. Wajimi a. Ye beka so wajimi. Wajimi a. Ye beka so wajimi. I love my Ghana. I love my Ghana. Look at this. They brought this so and so at Adjosafo. And nobody caught it. Nobody found out. Underground, thank you very much. All right, guys. But your own subscriber, subscribe to Safari TV Africa on YouTube and Safari TV Africa on Facebook. And then subscribe to Lao Silence TV, and with all due respect, Mepacho, subscribe to these channels now. Ubete no kre. Aye. Na me obisha, and maybe besu biya no behu. Na me a bell no. Se biya be ente be basu biya no. Ubehu no ye eche kwe. Onyankopon inshira say obehwe me na obete no kre. Na me inshira say uba bete no kre sa we papa. All right, so let's go.
And it does not serve as a good tax instrument because it's regressive. We also ask them to adjust even the threshold of this 100 Ghana, maybe upward. They also said they were not ready to do that. So if you didn't see the minority cooperating, these were the very reasons we are unable to support them. So we're determined to support them to redeem the economy, because we want to inherit a healthy economy under President Mahama in the very foreseeable future of 2025. But the difficulty was that they said on those matters. Now let me come to the business of Parliament. When you lay a budget statement minus concessions and you approve it without knowing the concessions, what have you approved? What have you approved? So let's get serious. Those of you who are familiar with the work of Parliament, we have seen motions amended on the floor of Parliament. It was just for the Minister for Finance to amend those aspects of the budget statement, or for better choice of a word, revise it. For instance, on Acre Energy, we clearly drew their attention that your rendition does not reflect the resolution which were passed by Parliament. An unpleasant truth which he must accept today and accept tomorrow. He can't alter that. So if you don't change it in the budget statement, where else are you going to change it? Which committee are you going to change it? We said Ejapa. We will not support Ejapa today. We will not support it tomorrow, because this Minister of Finance have collateralized every opportunity and revenue in order that he can endanger the future for an incoming political administration led by John Dramani Mahama and the NDC. Ghana Exim securitized, get fund collateralized, ESLA extended by 9 years when the sunset was supposed to be for 5 years. Therefore, we simply said, don't collateralize our mineral resources. Because even without collateralization, you earn $130 million US every other year. So live with that. So, ladies and gentlemen of the press, we will address a full-scale press conference on all these issues, but we needed to let the Ghanaian people know where we stand. We don't support the e-levy in its form and character as announced in paragraph 315 and 316 of the budget statement. Our indication to them to revise it to take care of the ordinary people, particularly people who depend on $100 remittances from abroad, even when the ranking member of finance schooled them, that not all the remittances go to household. Some of it is for purposes of business, capital. As the Honorable Adongo observed, you don't tax capital. So concessions, I want anybody to show to me where they have approved a budget subject to unknown concessions. The concessions are known only to Minister of Finance and to the Honorable Osei Mensah Bonsu. Is that how the Parliament of Ghana should work? Is that how Parliament should approve a budget policy and economic policy statement of government? We are a very constructive and reasonable opposition. Therefore, we made adjustment. We also further indicated to them that you cannot automatically adjust fees and charges. We said if you want, you can take it to the Public Financial Management Act so that it will be taken care of, but not at the behest of Minister Ken Oforiatta that every other year, automatic 15%. He doesn't have that mandate today, and he won't have that mandate tomorrow. But let me warn that from tomorrow, every other decision of Parliament will be by voting. Let me warn that tomorrow, every other decision of Parliament, we will insist on minimum numbers of head count. At appropriation and estimates, we will vote on them. And therefore, if this is the way they want us to walk, we are very capable of working with them. Therefore, if they claim that they respect the Constitution, they must respect the fact that today's decision is a constitutional nullity because the Deputy Speaker has no original nor casting votes. Nothing more. And therefore, they were at best 137. I have already warned that cooperation, we should be mindful of the consequence of the lack of cooperation on the Ghanaian people, particularly those who want their salaries paid at the end of January. It was for those reasons we made those difficult overtures to them. Now, for those of you who think that they are right on many of the issues, we will share with you some other details relating to the budget. I don't want to go to the politics of walkout, but to remind you, those of you who are familiar with the history of Ghana, I want to take you to Memory Lane, 3rd August 1956, and you know them by who they are. When the motion of destiny was moved in Parliament in December 1956 for independence in 1957, the minority led by Buzia walked out, just as you saw. The vote was taken, and the colonial government accepted the vote as 72-0, and it carried. It carried. So, practice, precedent, convention, let them be guided. The opposition protested to the British Parliament, but their protest was thrown out and dismissed. Per Eskime, a deputy speaker is not a speaker, and that is the reason why in the House of Commons, the deputy speaker is not addressed as a speaker. When he is presiding, he is referred to by his title. This position was affirmed by Speaker Ala Jete. So if they are happy quoting Speaker Do Ajaho, they should read. The Honorable Ahmed, let me conclude by the ruling of Professor Michael Kwe, if you have it. But I'll be happy to take questions from the media whilst we look at those issues. We'll address the issues comprehensively, but the questions the Ghanaian people must be asking. This budget was approved with concessions. Concessions are known to the Parliament of Ghana, and concessions are known to us. And that we decided to stand strong because we do not support the introduction of an e-levy. We have repeatedly cautioned that it will take us back into what we have been trying to do to a cash functional economy and affect the development of a digital economy, and they are just being opportunistic and exploitative with those particular issues. I'll be happy to answer questions from you. So let them be reminded that today what they have done is Professor Michael Kwe, see February 2020. The minority side claimed that they were not invited to participate in a meeting of the Finance Committee to consider the referral of the contract of the EPC. So let me just share another ruling with you. So constitutional and parliamentary jurisprudence will only be richer. This is what Professor Michael Kwe observed. We all know in this house that on both sides, there have been all manner of boycotts at some time or the other, which is fine. If a boycott arises, those who are seized with their work may do so and have to do so. So we did so, and we had to do so last Friday in the words of Professor Michael. Otherwise, government business will cease. This time it was the government people boycotting and running away from government business. And he further said that no group, no matter where it belongs, can arrest the business of the nation because they choose not to take part in a particular business. So they could not have arrested what we were doing on Friday by the words of their own speaker, Professor Mike Okwe. If you want the reference, see February 2020. Thank you very much.
We'll start this way, and then we'll go. So please come forward, and then followed by you. Leader, pay attention to the questions. Yes.
Unlike us, we are Democrats. We will allow people to ask questions. Come. No, this man.
Yeah, my name is Kosi Kumsian, editor of the Punch newspaper. When Speaker returns, do you intend to undo what they've done today?
We want a functional country. We'll hear you.
Leader, when the first deputy speaker was presiding, you talked about the original and casting vote. He counted himself, and his explanation was that he was not taking part in the voting. When he put the question, he was silent. Is there any difference in that regard? And what does that mean for...
If you're silent, less 137.
Yes, so...
If you're silent, less 137.
Yes, what does that...
And it does not serve as a good tax instrument because it's regressive. We also asked them to adjust even the threshold of this 100 Ghana, maybe upward. They also said they were not ready to do that. So if you didn't see the minority cooperating, these were the very reasons we are unable to support them. So we're determined to support them.
All right, guys, let me show you something real quick.
A quarter after 5. The speaker happening from down now for the day. And I would pray that we adjourn the House. purpose to carry this house and indeed the entire nation along since early morning, 8 o'clock today. And I believe we've got into the time 5:15. As you guys, I believe we've done enough for the day. And I would pray that we adjourn the house. The purpose to carry this house and indeed the entire nation along since early morning, 8 o'clock today. And I believe we've got into the time 5:15. As you guys, I believe we've done enough for the day. And I would pray that we adjourn the house. The purpose to carry this house and indeed the entire nation along since early morning, 8 o'clock today. And I believe we've got into the time 5:15. As you guys, I believe we've done enough for the day. And I would pray that we adjourn the house. The purpose to carry this house and indeed the entire nation along since early morning, 8 o'clock today. And I believe we've got into the time 5:15. As you guys, I believe we've done enough for the day. And I would pray that we adjourn the house.
All right, guys. Let's go back to some small analysis. Let's come to small analysis. All right. So, we share video now. Ube who say ke Japan no frubi. We share video now. Like Japan no frubi. We share. enti oye pe na osan cutting or the ade to ho or the phone to ho no and sorry o hwe na no hwe adwosafo no hwe adwosafo enti it looks like she called that woman to get up and go enti hwe sorry free or the call nyina no konyo hwe no sorry obedu sorry free o papa no be fa de chia ono bi kasa wo ho why be no ne kasa e na hwesi no otene ne ho hwesi no otene ne ho hwe every human being I just have to air bassy also otene say no de ko I don't otene say she turned away from the cameras that would see her face directly. Yes, she turned opposite to the camera. Say the camera no who in their right mind? I'll play that video again for you to see, so that you know what I'm talking about. Look at how I just have to tell you.
Quarter after 5. A quarter after 5. As you got, I believe we've done enough for the day. And I would.
Why did she turn like that? Why did she turn like that? For what reason? Shadia?
A quarter after 5. As you got, I believe we've done enough for the day. And I would a quarter after 5.
Look at that.
As you got,
Look at that. Look at that.
Enough for the day.
Look how she turned.
And I would.
Now we all did it to your coin. We all did it to your coin.
That we are chairing the house.
But I'm Mushadi. Look at this. Look at this. Look at how she's sitting there. She's playing with her phone. On the phone, they grow. But I'm Mushadi.
The purpose to carry this house and the entire nation along since early morning, 8 o'clock today. And I believe we've gotten to time 3, a quarter after 5. As you guys, I believe we've done enough for the day. And I would pray that we adjourn the house.
That is for you to know. You see, I am a straight. Thank you on the ground. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Only baby. Ghana for very soon. The Ebesino, Ebesi. The Ebesino, Ebesi. President to me efa jet. It's your fuel car. I go for 1 MP. One MP. One MP. Yes. 1 MP. What of not the number? Mepacho, let me make this announcement. I have an issue. I can solve it, but I want to see how best I can solve it. When I'm showing the video on Facebook, the people on YouTube can't see it. They can't see it. And I want to do something about it so that they can also see. They used to see it. But I disconnected a few things that the mode of which I used to show that it's not the best. So I had to stop that. But I'm feeling it's two things, that the people on Facebook will come to YouTube, or the YouTube people will come to Facebook, until I fix that, so that we can be able to do it. Because I feel bad. A very important person of mine that watches YouTube all the time told me, we just stare at you, we just hear sounds, but we cannot see what you're showing. And I feel bad about that. And for them watching me, I need to let them see their importance. And I was saying, Mima, you be no more omuhu. Na wamusu omutumi eshe. So right now, if I want to show that video right now, for instance, let me show you what I'm going to do. Edit, but I have to share a screen, and that's why sometimes I don't want to actually show it that way. But I'll show you something right quick, so that those on YouTube can be able to see this quickly, so that they can also feel free. I can really do this, yes, but sometimes I not mood na medi not yet BB. Aye, Auntie, that's what it is. Thank you very much. So I'm going to show you the video right now. I'll show you the video quickly right now, so that you can see what I'm talking about. It's like we're cheating the YouTubers, and I don't like that. They also deserve to also see what is right. I Auntie womudie mpese yebe anyhow. So this is how you're going to see it, guys. This is the video. So that's the video right there. So guys, this is what it is. This is what we're talking about, and I was here very careful as Ghanaians. Be very, very careful, very careful. Because what is going on one day at the assembly.
He's at his wit's end. Want me the Shibium? Sabre when your bride casa, Mun Casa Boko, Mun Siachre, no minority for the be home in the interest of the state. As some are to pass a canoe, baby woman a year, Mummy and Tie, as some are selling branch here canoe, baby woman, Mummy and Shani. The Kiki and Siaga was said Chairman Sabonsu. Once from Emma or Bifo, Emma, majority leader. If we say one simple prayer can and what pim. Not I say, Mr. Chairman, I was right there. Wapim. Next on the corporate vice president, one vice president. No, I didn't hear so bad. Says the year canon. So what didn't hear so bad swami. One go yes, man. Name one parliamentary party. No, if it's a so cop, if it's take. Now it's in simply a year UP tradition for one contribution for parliamentary democracy. Aye 2000 to 1992 to 1996. I know many hope you know. Kwakwa said the normal jigu ye. Omuba 96. The way a normal epeja ye. So now we need to back of water. Let the people free say, move to me a beat you and I'm using belligerent language. And as I say, Nini also said there be a Becky cricket and no more beat you. Why the Papa division by? No one have a buy. And to us, I just a winning baby and I say, look at Yatiano, and come. Me offers in Sawam. I'm not on plan. The big covet me you soon in Yansa. I think you're marking. See a down one cassa. Let me a baby. Or say 10 minutes about to check. He's at his wit's end. Want me the Shibium. Sabre when you break Casa, Mon Casa Boko, Monsiachre, no minority for the be come home in the interest of the state. As some to force a can, baby woman a year, Mummy and Tia, as some salon branch, can, baby woman, Mummy and Shani. The kiki and Siaga was said Chairman Sabonsu. One see from Emma Obifu from Emma Mayor majority leader. If we say one simple prayer can and wapim. Not I say, Mr. Chairman was right there. Wapim. Next on the corporate vice president here. One young vice president. No, I didn't hear super bad. And says the year canon. So what did they so bad swami? One go yes, man. Name one parliamentary party. No, if it's a so cop, if it's now it's in simply a year UP tradition for one contribution for parliamentary democracy. A year 2000 to a year 1992 to 1996. I know many hope you know. Kwakwa said the normal jigu ye. Omuba 96. The way a normal epeja. So now we need to back of water. Let the people free say, move to me a beat you and I'm using belligerent language. And as I say, Nini also said there be a Becky cricket and no more beat you. Why the Papa division by? No one have a buy. And to me, so I just a winning baby and I see you at Yatiano, and come. Me offers in Sawam. I'm not on plan. The big comet me you soon in Yansa. I think you're marking. See a down one cassa. Let me a baby. Or say 10 minutes about to check. He's at his wit's end. Want me the Shibium. Sabre when you break Casa, Mon Casa Boko, Monsiachre, no minority for the be come home in the interest of the state. As some to force a can, baby woman a year, Mummy and Tia, as some salon branch here can, baby woman, Mummy and Shani. The kiki and Siaga was said Chairman Sabonsu. One see from Emma Obifu from Emma Mayor majority leader. If we say one simple prayer can and wapim. Not I say, Mr. Chairman, I was right there. Wapim. Next on the corporate vice president here. One young vice president. No, I didn't hear super bad. And says the year canon. So what did they hear so bad swami? One go yes, man. Name one parliamentary party. No, if it's a so cop, if it's now it's in simply a year UP tradition for one contribution for parliamentary democracy. A year 2000 to a year 1992 to 1996. I know many hope you know. Kwakwa said the normal jigu ye. Omuba 96. The way a normal epeja. So now we need to back of water. Let the people free say, move to me a beat you and I'm using belligerent language. And as I say, Nini also said there be a Becky cricket and no more beat you. Why the Papa division by?
All right, so I want to show you something so that we can do a comparison right away together. Let's do an analysis right now. You see, people are suspecting this woman is Becky Sappho, the woman that just went there is Becky Safo. And I want to honorably and sincerely show you the real Adwoa Safo picture, so you can actually see it. Yes, I just want you to see that, the real Adwoa Safo picture. I know people are sending me things at the moment. There are so many things I'm watching that it's just, I do. Oh God, oh man, I don't get it. It's like mentiasia. I am a film. Sometimes we are people, and you may be what you're sharing their cars. I'm not a gra. So near say I dey say ye pa any yes say no, and we are not seeing the fact that we are destroying stuff. Which I say, we are destroying stuff, and I made the Meka no correct. Me will be to be can't say I mean kind of correct. I'll tell the truth, and I'm going to put Adwoa Safo's real picture there so that we are all going to see it and understand it and see the kind of people we are dealing with as parliamentarians. Knowing that, I know that as parliamentarians, I was there one way from honorables, but so doing you who say one honorables, and it's alleged that Obawe and a woman and no koye ekotina sa biaho eko standing in my Adwoa Safo, because Adwoa Safo for some reason we don't know what's going on with Adwoa Safo. We still can't know what is going on with Adwoa Safo. Me was sure say Adwoa Safo no more loggerheads be cause wo ho. Na yenhwe Adwoa yenhwe Adwoa photo. But Adwoa Safo photo ni. This is Adwoa Safo's photo right here. This is Adwoa Safo's photo right here. And look at this woman's photo too, as well. Enti, o share that way ya. Who is saying? O me nu who is saying? How do you see that too? They look alike. Me in Canada, they really look alike. But Adwoa Safo nanti, na Adwoa Safo nanti no. And yes, I'm a way. No nante de koye. Yes, obi na more 9 size of bust. Yes, more 9 size of bust. But we also see Adwoa Safo. On nante with her top stiff than Adwoa Safo. I do see ano. On nante with on the top. Or you see. Not the top. And you know, where Adwoa Safo. This is not Adwoa Safo. What I say? Na say me bo. Anya no aye. Max na kata wo mo anim no. Max na kata wo mo anim no. Enu na sisi aba. But me say ni nyina no omo to me e so no say oko. Osoro ko e. Omo vote me e no. No so oko. Eti no na ya yo man den. O man no kwesen. My people, that's all I'm asking. Where are you taking the country? Where are we taking the country? Why? For what purpose? I think they didn't see. President want to be tenacity. No wonder. On the Falcon, no other than Foka 28. Foka 28. We saw for 28. I could find MP back because of voting in the name of passing the bill. Now, I'm not to focus on one pass it. We don't have money. We don't have nothing. Ghanaians, we don't have anything. Ghana is broke because most of the money that Akufo-Addo borrowed was spent in their own pockets. It was not used. Said, yeah, you won't get this camera. And I'm It may be a jessica. I have you want to say dying, but the bed at to swap. I have to make sure that the money I'm going to take can do the job I want to do and get the money and pay my loan and get my profit. Ojase. But more boys here, any could in quite a 70 and for mood discarded and some didn't yafu. Now move ya. Mobugana focus ya for move outside the taxes and who in fast 2 years so. Na mo car na mo tete mo land cruisers ni ene mo pickups ni mo fuel ni mo nyema ene ma mo ni nyina na mo de tia pump be say mo nim de wiase eko because who was kind of broso allowances musurunko what you say and I hope parliament will investigate this. Now, before let me show you a video. Most of you that were not here earlier on, I want to show you a video of how Michael Kwe treated the minority and see if it's the same that Aban Bagbin is doing. Please watch this video for me.
All those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Plus 108.
Statement of affairs.
The speaker have been studied, and I can see that the speaker. Let's be careful the way we do things. First, that's one we have proved in this house. On the 91, the speaker you call for, on the 48, it's been 1 hour. You are condoning an illegality.
108.
That's why there must be rules and order. And now what you are doing, the speaker, you are involving yourself in an illegality. We are saying that we don't have the number to take a decision. You are carrying on. You don't have the number to take you don't have a quorum. You are still carrying on. What is then make use of our constitution and then the standard orders?
Honorable Chairman.
That is not fair. You are abusing the privilege of this house. You are making this house lawless. You are making this house lawless, Mr. Speaker. What you are doing is wrong. You should know that. If you believe the house, what you want to do is to
Mr. Speaker.
What is happening?
108.
You don't have the number to take a decision. You don't have a quorum. The constitution has stipulated that the standard orders have made that
line 1.
You want to ignore all that and still carry
amendment
on.
proposed.
What kind of behavior is this?
Delete accompanied.
And then we are all talking about lawlessness outside.
And it said supported. So the new rendition will be the statement shall be supported with an affidavit to verify the statement and shall indicate.
We have our own rules.
I so move, Mr. Speaker.
We don't to do as we please. We think that is right. That is an illegality and should not be championed by the speaker. That is terrible. What kind of thing is this?
And young Kwasiasemwa. Nanka wo no a speaker of parliament now. Wo ye speaker of parliament no. Now wo nim say ade a wo ye no na muntaka e kan wo ye writer. Why do you stop and challenge that what he's saying is wrong? But you are a speaker of parliament. You are speaking over your member of parliament that is raising an accusation on you. And I won't cast out over him. You don't care. And you see, the man was so dumb to understand that he did not even know how to shut off the microphone of Muntaka. He didn't know how to even shut off the microphone. Some clerk had to come and do it for him. That's how stubborn. That's how wicked. That's how bad MPP is. And I'm telling you, that's why I told you, I swore my life that as for me, MPP, me, I would never affiliate myself with such people. No! My integrity is too high for me to mess with people like that. You are talking about him, they are saying, and you see, I'm telling you, James are supposed to say, and I can say, heaven, uncle, James are heaven, uncle heaven, James are, and even put you for who, and even put you for the camp. Or you go for the dinner. When you put you on the camp, yes, you woman. Because he was a one came, you know that this man has been standing waiting for you. There is no quorum, there is no number to stand and vote for the very important things that are going against Ghanaians. And this particular bill is a bill that will go against Ghanaian people. They are talking about penalty. They're talking about penalty credits that are going to go against Ghanaian people. And there should be enough people who sit down and agree to whatever they're doing. But no, I couldn't find out from his stupid head from up to down has affected every person that could use their integrity. Anybody that comes close to Fado is corrupted with some kind of dishonest virus. And you see, when the guy was raising that you open the microphone for him to talk over him because what they say is bullshit. Meanwhile, he's right. We don't have the quorum. The people are not there. But I must ask the question, maybe a question. Why should there be an empty parliament in the first place? Why should there be no quorum to vote over issues? Why should there be less number to vote over issues? They are only quorum. They give you food, they give you clothing allowance, they feed your wife, they feed your dog. We feed the watchman, we feed the cook, we feed the house girl, we feed everybody in your family. We give you enough money. All you do is we are paying for your water, your electricity. We are paying for everything for you. All we're saying is that get up early in the morning, scrub your dirty underarms, scrub your dirty balls, wash your face. You don't have to brush your teeth. You can go like that with your teeth unbrushed. Just go to parliament. Go and sit there. Be present. Yet, they are never present. And we are paying them. If I was a president, I'm telling you this, the first thing I will take away is the housing. The housing is the money that we pay to go to the car and all that. Certain allowance, fine. Clothing allowance, no. Because most of the people are from parliament hall. And then the papa that I was making the show I made Saturday and Sunday. I see how people are, American, lawyers are business. American lawmakers, when they're traveling, they have a credit card that is given to them. They are giving you the amount to spend at the hotel. They give you the amount to spend for eating, and that's all it is. If you overeat, you will pay. If you don't pay, they will fire you. Yes, and everything you do, you got to bring receipts. Moto to ho, and then kwasi asani Jimison na moto na moody. Mumbu gara for ye de sika hwemo no man no sene mo yimu. Enti butrima na de say chire.
You have rules, you don't want to follow the rules. You just want to do as you please. What is this? We are in the country of law. And we as lawmakers should be still to be the first to adhere to the rules. Not to just do as we please.
Honorable Chairman, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, clause 108, amendment proposed, subclause 2, line 1, delete accompanied, and insert supported. So the new rendition would be: the statement shall be supported with an affidavit to verify the statement. And
guys, look at Parliament. Look at Parliament. Look at Parliament. Look at the number of seats that are empty. As I'm looking, I can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, almost 8 empty chairs just behind this dude. 8. Where were they? Were they supposed to be doing the duty that Ghana is paying them for? And if I was the president, each day you miss Parliament, it will be deducted for your money. If you miss Parliament for the total of 1 year, if you miss Parliament 5 times, your seat will be available for a, how do you call it, a by-election. Yes. If I was president, if you miss Parliament 5 times for a year, you are not supposed to go anywhere. Stay in Parliament and mind your own business.
indicates. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, the proposed amendment for Constitution of the House. And I'll put a question. All those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Chairman.
Mr. Speaker, further amendment, subclause 2, paragraph C, line 3.
It was a pleasure being on your show on Sunday. That is councilman. That is councilman right there. Councilman right there. A very honorable man indeed. Yes, he gave me his time. I on my many time, but it's not same my time. Church and simu councilman. When I mean sure, I were too west America ho or dedicating who am America. As councilman and Kamia Papa the neighbor so that or the Kanga back show no be who or a councilman will if anything Delaware. Yes, very honorable man. Me unshira no pejao. I Nyamisha no pejao. We are going to do this program again this week. Yes, we'll do it again this week, and then we are going to talk about more things. Things have evolved. Maybe akoko atochichimana there, and also, and honorable say enka my mom link me. The ending komo very shortly, like 5 minutes. 5 minutes per ending komo 5 minutes per. You need come 5 minutes per. Me bacho text me on my phone so. Councilman, my Max, bacho text me on my phone. Let's do something small. Na ye hwe je be ko akosio. But na my idea. I my idea. Na me onshira mo no mpagya mo no yamo kese. Sanity. Bismarck ni amponsa or say God bless you, Mr. Host. All right, thank you very much. So customer, I'm waiting for you. Just text me on my phone. I'm going to send you a link, and then I'll ask you a few things, and then we can move on. All right, so that is what it is. So let's finish this and let's move on. I'll be done in a few minutes.
Insert the article there. So the new rendition would be the names, residential and postal addresses, and the occupations of the creditors of the company held by the creditors of the company. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, the proposed amendment for Constitution of the House. All those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Further amendment.
Oh God, it's sad. It's just sad. It's sad, guys. She said, all those say I, and the majority at that moment, MP before say I. There were not enough people there. And the people that were in the minority, they were so mad that the few that were there didn't even say no. And this stupid old man didn't care. He didn't care. He didn't care. And this guy was trying to tell stupid man that there's no quorum, there's not enough people. Wait, I can almost number second term. Stupid Ajasco. My goodness. I'm so sad for Ghana. I'm just so sad for Ghana. I'm so sad for Ghana right now. And at this moment, I don't know what to say. And this keeps on happening. Like in Penny4, so Bushen Yansano. Yansani Ebini ho, they don't have it. Common sense is not there. It's not there. Ehemiya pa. It's not there.
You will say he means Abonsu. Obetma a very nice minority leader in opposition. But for me, if they continue to keep or say change Mensa Bush, no one's sunny to bind the I'm telling you. Because I should buy Nekatakata Jamla Semino. You find carry government business. Over carry back government business, you must break consensus. And what Casa de brother consensus. Let trust some the consensus. So you must build consensus. It is because it is because one time for move on say but you see, that is the difference between MPP and NDC. Okay. At a point in time, you are approval ministers. Yeah. Most of our supporters disagree with us. We didn't come out to do kata. We accepted it in good faith. We move on. Yeah. So what I say, look, as a responsible majority, I'll be moving now on the same page, you know. Yeah, Busimo, we never ambush you. Okay, and as a for me, no, Obi on the answer no, or they make progress. Obi on the answer the answer he's thinking about how to outwit you. I know you answer papa. Yeah, no, we never ambush you right from day one. In seven notice. Because
first day no amoye after say can for after the budget for the buy. Ade ate ye no ane ne John Kumadi nkomo ha. Ene me do tu nanim say e John Kumadi say on be reject budget no.
We never ambush. In fact, the minority leader Eba Bonti be stating a position on this. So you should start the engagement right from there. And now I'm saying say omunim say ye jimi krenti. And a minister responsible for finance better video so on the on crowd before so be minority for me the budget time. So ya dream a good bottom. I was come to and if yourself on them nyina no. Obeka kire say so be no. O see onim crowd for so be nya nyina. And the more I engage. As a strategic majority leader no. The first thing you should have done is say also already in all your 138 people stand by. Then you start the engagement. At every point debate no then you start the engagement. Look, on the floor of the house there was no member from the minority side that would debate here. One kase at a point in time you say someone confirm minister for finance cry on the floor of the house debate somewhere no not first deputy speaker and said there was nothing wrong with it, so we should go ahead. What it means they say they were not ready to take our concerns on board. And of course, in a debate here, you were not who were engaging. Who are only 138 in answer. And I do be a dream. Ya end a debate, and I must want end more day. And then they see seven previous or Hineba. Asama ye choose ye Kenyan. It is just because no more crowdfunding here where they didn't have the numbers because the only Yansen but was say. You will say he means Abonsu. Obetma a very nice minority leader in opposition. But for me,
all right, guys, something for you to know.
myself wɔ public accounts committee so all the 12 years here no parliament san finance committee member all the 12 years here
you been call parliament
call 1993 January
I just say we share a economic be a member
then yes yes
about a year in 1992 you are more over a January under His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings.
Yes.
That's one about being speaker.
Ne back ben num nyina hya se.
Am chairman some smokura ma.
Na bi na o mai. E man sambo nso ene JDM num ene ba 96. Na ye hya se 93 ye 92 elections. Ne ba ayi 98. Ntino na Bagbe no nso amma consultative assembly I declare constitution. Inti e hoso no South Asia. Inti o man no constitution na da ho no. Ne article bia ni ho a me wo ha me mfa book bia ndo ha. Bibia e wo mu nyina timika. E na wo bisa de nti a loss bia na article bia e de ba ya. E kai debate e ko so ma e ko settle say close way the sheha ye we the sheha ye we the sheha ye first standing orders here eye parliament rules wa de ye adwuma no me ka ho ne ehihye ifri obesi na ye hye dance say mopi inti parliament standing orders mandakura no bisamia enya ho se maka I say kwanya parliament faso ye inti mimia
mo ba nre ya so ni se o mo nam cham
oh
na mo twere to ho
covid MP for
efo
covid MP e o mo e ba na nso ya election we ebi ne kwawu friend say price MP ya na no gina parliament o ye covid ya di wa ba parliament o ni ma de je we enti parliament adwuma no ye so complex say the one year serious pa the whole of your first term 4 years no kra no untimi hu emu nsemu nyina ntimi nyina wonan so nti uba na wanya ho brase ensua adwuma no na ya ho minimum a o first term ya obekofie myself were public accounts committee so all the 12 years here no parliament san finance committee member all the 12 years here
you been call parliament
call 1993 January
I just say we share a economic be a member
then yes yes
about a year in 1992 you are more over a January under His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings.
Yes.
That's one about being speaker.
Ne bagbe num nyina hya se.
Am chairman some smokura ma.
Na bi na o mo mai. E man sambo nso ene JDM num ene ba 96. Na ye hya se 93 ye 92 elections. Ne ba ayi 98. Ntino na bagbe nso amma consultative assembly I declare constitution nti e hoso no memedi kai wo ho ne declare constitution no wi ansa na bagbe so beto ye South Asia nti o man no constitution na da ho no the article bia ni ho a me wo ha me mfa book bia ndo ha bibia e wo mu nyina timika na wo bisa de nti a loss bia na article bia ye de ba ya e kai debate e ko so ma e ko settle say close way ye de sheha ye we ye de sheha ye we de sheha ye first standing orders ya eye parliament rules wa de ye adwuma no me ka ho ne ehihye ifri obesi na ye hye dance say mopi nti parliament standing orders mandakura no bisamia enya ho asema kaje achese kwanya parliament faso ye adwuma nti minia
mo ba nre ya so ni se o mo nam cham
oh
mo na mo twere to ho
covid MP for
efo
covid MP Oh my ba nanso ya election we. Ebi ne kwawu friends employers so MP ya na no gina parliament o ye. COVID ya di wa ba parliament o di ma de chema. Enti parliament adwuma no ye so complex say. The one you serious pa oba the whole of your first term 4 years no kra no. Untimi hu e mu nsemu.
All right, thank you very much, guys, for your patience. Phone lines are open now. The phone lines are open. Let's finish this nicely, and let's go quickly. Now, me betchere. Aye, me betchere.
Yeah, but yeah, you man. The government payroll no so ya ma. Payroll no so ya ma. School na wo kon Mr. Ojai. School fees no ko fan your man. You say yo Jai. Say school no never school fees no ko fan your man. Yeah, but yeah, you man. The government payroll no so ya ma. Payroll no so ya ma. School na wo kon Mr. Ojai. School fees no ko fan your man. You say yo Jai. Say school no never school fees no ko fan your man. Yeah, but yeah, you man. The government.
All right. Thank you very much, Councilman. Thank you very much. I'll send you a link right away so we talk. All right. My first call. Hello. Yes, I. Yeah, me Bema. And yeah, you and when I my Tim. Me who say wasati boom dada. Aye. Asemo. Aye. Omumbuno. Awesome. Oh yes. Say yeah, Max they should know. Yeah. That's right. Alright, that's it. Yo, Matty. Hello. Hello. Matty, Matty, Papa. Matty, first, like I said, fee. Iman, Matty, Casadenko. But I make a contribution.
Okay. First and foremost, I'm going to make sure
that's it.
And I'm speaking from my heart. And me who say NDC for parliamentarians, no man co-parliament, no. I didn't really understand it because on a normal day we know what will happen. On the January 7th, no, before they selected the Speaker of Parliament.
That's right.
Because they knew what they will benefit and we saw how they fought. And then me, I didn't understand it. But seeing this address Safo poster, and I'm beginning to really understand. Do you know what is going on? I feel they knew. Seriously, even if the parliamentarians in power, the leadership knew, because first and foremost, what intelligence did they gather to know say MPP for parliamentarians in Harbour? How did they know? One, on Friday they knew say address for Uniho. Who informed them? What intelligence did they gather? Who say I just afford be true. All my answers no. Now I think we are very simple and very clear. They can get videos full. We shouldn't allow this matter to rest. Say NDC for Nankazambu and take you over. Mayen allow it. I said women arrested. Let's talk about it. Let's hit on it. Because it's very dangerous. Parliament, when you say the floor of Parliament, if you are not invited by the speaker, not to member,
yes,
and somebody can come, it is the greatest form of security breach of a nation, especially Parliament. Say in Kofu, the young ones come. Let's do it for ourselves, because if they are able to get away with this, what would they not be able to get away with again?
That's right.
If in front of cameras, if you are seeing they can be able to do this, then what are they doing underground? It's dangerous. No, MP before the but what is making me heartbroken is say the NDC were aware of this. I'll be very heartbroken. And I mean, party we are seeing seriously. That's it.
What can I say, no? Hello? Hello? Yes, sir. I'm at the fast and call.
Mami plan fast na tam kurako. Safuro mami chana mi chana Kevin Taylor. Safuro say they see the our parliament. Ghana ye democracy. Nanadu sese no do democracy ni eya wa kuwani masi. Yes abosu. Yes abosu ti dawo ye no kwala sama o ti parliament ye no. Nti no fair. Since the way we parliament and I would give him and some and fata. Not your wife, deputy speaker. She's in some of the now, we vote. I said, deputy speaker also saw a demo. Mr. Waka coming come. No matter for obedience, I said, I just suffer. I'm going to need a few of the so to be free. Dubai or within the channel. So could you run on the free bet now? Grabbing two. And also, I know you can kind or two. And I still know smart machine or two. Also, or parliament or on my order. Until I know you. Messi, Salano, Sadisa, fraud budget now. You travel. Also, problem cost so much from me. Say, a beya Juma, don't see a beya Juma. Eya Juma, then ya Juma China. Flat tax on one more tax now. You travel. Other China, say a year to year, Chafuro. Tuba parliament, you know. So that's funny, you know, you will tell it to here. It's a man with the same Akufo Ghana. Akufo will see or what will do Manoko in Milano. Say on we are Ghana. You see, Akufo will just Uncle Fuika. Come on, first to a Ghana for a Diagro. Any Ghana for a system. They put Ghana for a personal. Among Kaise and Brand Tom to in the normal or Muyo. Normal Pagana Flacho. And then being full na picture and then full of tutum and then you not to say that so we are Ghana for. So for an Uncle count. But that's so for.
All right, auntie. I also aka cry na ya wie empacho betumi afre na egusu akoso ya ko enim ya ko enim so I have one call coming in na the arena you know I ask mo zamu de munye hu ya make catch ayetan ayetan it's not what we people think it is ayetan kasa enti mama yes study about it because maybe I didn't do no enko yi hello good mama saying
then of parliament about to come like but all time because I'm a Ghana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But condemn it. I didn't want to know. I didn't that. No cannot come back. I didn't go to the and then aha. I said,
Customer, you're welcome.
Good evening.
Mija honche ena asem asan by you. Wa hwe. Wa. So what to say Omako pass ya there no?
Oma pass it 6 hours ago, right?
6 hours ago. Ena according to kwamo faso dia there no. Omako fa oba bia enye parliamentarian e betena ho. I stand corrected, but the pictures and the videos I'm seeing and the analysis I did shows that it wasn't her. And the president again moved the Fokker 28, okay, all the way from Ghana to Germany to go and pick up one member of parliament to come and vote.
That's so what was the total votes?
It's only one difference. One. And the minority didn't say we won't pass it. The minority said, remove that Momo charge that you're going to charge, that percentage, you 1.75 that you're charging. Take it off and put something in the bill for the people who are in Qatar, who had a tidal wave. Put something in there for them, and then we're going to build it.
I said last 2 days ago, they had discussed it, and I'm said, leaders know they are supposed to be public servants, right?
Yeah.
They don't work as public servants because okay budget no more. You can find ways and means to reduce 1.75% of the budget, which it would not affect
anything
regular people, right? You know, into say if any Ghanaian look at Ghana budget, you will notice that there's so much, you know, in the US they call it pork. There's so much pork in their budget that they could not reduce some of their wasteful spending by 1.75%. Rather to tax people who are already struggling, right? You can find ways to tax, but when you task, you know, average people and common people who are already, you know, need food and money and clothes, shelter, and all that kind of stuff, then at that point, you know, you are not really looking at your budget. You're just trying to help yourself, you know. So it's not about increasing taxes. It's about looking at your budget and seeing what can you cut down without increasing taxes. You know, because in Ghana, in generally, if you increase taxes, the average Ghanaian is not going to see the benefit of the increase in taxes. You know, so as you increase taxes, you know, someone who is making
700 Ghana cedi a month is going to start to wonder. Now, increase in taxes, they don't see it. All they see is V8s. All they see is flying their girlfriends. All they see is they are stuck in traffic and the road is messed up and an MP is flying by. So like I mentioned, it's like politics is very lucrative in Ghana because any member of parliament in Ghana, they have not created any form of jobs, including manufacturing and anything. So they don't know jobs. They don't know how to help people. Their whole responsibility is omo person about parliament. No munya bibi kakra na omo they are more businesship no so nyi bi atom botom. That's all they know. If they know about how to create jobs, okay, so let's take it back. Between you and I, Obia fear your budget yes every month, right?
Yeah.
We have our monthly budget. We have our expenses. We have our income that comes in, right? So if we don't have money, what will we do? We will try to whether to increase our income or decrease our spending. The question to Parliament before they added the 1.75% in the taxes, do they ever consider reducing their spending?
No. As a matter of fact, I was briefed today that the 3 billion is only for the president's office.
Repeat that.
I'm saying that I was briefed today that the 3 billion that I spoke about last time, Sunday, that 3 billion is only for the president's office. It doesn't include the payment of the employees and everything. This is just for the president's office. 3 billion.
Yeah,
what the president is getting, U.S. president is getting for White House.
That's very. I guess we call it. It's not very prudent. They have to find a way to cut some of their spending and always looking to increase or borrow. But the average Ghanaian, my whole thing is that the average Ghanaian does not see any benefit of any annual budget that is ever passed by the parliament. Look, I left Ghana at a very young age. I go to Ghana in the last 8 years. I go to Ghana every single year. The problems that I saw when I was a child in Ghana, I still see it today. The only difference is that technology has increased. There has been private U.S. companies that are building over there. Some other differences includes, some of the highways and the roads that has been built. But culturally and how the government runs the country is still stagnant. It hasn't progressively moved forward. And the only way to do it is to have people hold these leaders accountable, because they are not being held accountable for what their job is. You played a video, I don't know who that guy was. He was talking about the job of parliament is so complex. Who was that? Who was that man?
Is it the minority leader?
Okay. See, I'm not an MPP or NDC person, and frankly, I don't know the difference between them. But when he talks about the job of parliament is so complex, it shouldn't be complex. Every member of parliament that comes in needs to have their own role. They can't tackle every issue that comes in. So everybody needs to be assigned a particular committee that they need to be assigned to and the type of things that they have to do. So if you are an MP from, like let's say somewhere Ascent West or Ascent, whatever that you are coming from, you are tasked with this particular project in the country, and you have to make sure that that particular tax is done. You can't be worrying about what other people are doing, because every you got to have specialities. You know, you can't have jack of all trades, master of none. You got to have specialists of MPs that is assigned to specific projects that they can focus on to do it. And to say that the job of an MP is very complex. I mean, to me,
Was the slim man, the very little man?
Yeah.
That's General Mosquito.
Okay, that's him.
Yeah.
Yeah. To say that to me, because okay, see, that's why there's a problem. There's an institutional structure problem, because if someone who has never been in politics is elected to go to parliament, when that person goes in parliament on day one, there should be a civil servant that should be able to help lead that individual to do his day-to-day work and able to get his job done. They don't have to learn everything. That person who has been in parliament working as a public servant should be able to lead that person day to day and say, okay, today you do this, today you go here, today you do that, and they have a schedule. So going into parliament shouldn't be that you are getting your master's degree or your doctorate degree.
Now, Councilman, let me ask a question. What is your job as a councilman of North Carolina, Delaware? What is your job description?
So I represent the area that I live in. So basically, my task within the council is zoning and planning, and then taxes. So basically, what that is that if someone wants to buy a land, or someone wants to do something, they want to build a house, they want to do something, it has to go through the council approve before it goes to the council. The planning commission, which I'm part of, we recommend if this needs to be voted. For example, next week we have a meeting, and one guy who has a property, he wants to annex his property into our city. He's in the county. A county is a district, but it's not part of any part of a town. So in order to do that, we have to vote on it. We have to assess his situation and annex his property into the town. And what happens is that we're going to collect his property tax, and that property tax will be used to pay firefighters, police officers, school teachers, and all that kind of stuff. So we're making sure that we can increase our property tax base zoning wise. Okay, we're going to determine, okay, this area is good to put retail shop. This area is not good to put a retail shop. This area, we're going to make it a residential area. So that's that. So I'm more or less part of the planning, zoning, and taxation part of it. And, and that's my job, to make sure that we grow as a town and as a city, and make sure that we don't depend on the federal and the state government. We can survive on our own.
Do you get paid for that job you're doing?
Well, so depending on what city and town, and you're gonna get paid. But the charter for the area that I live in, I do not get paid. Some people, they get paid from other towns. I don't get paid, and frankly, we don't have enough budget for it. And most of the people who ran to do it, they do it because they want to help the community. Because one, you don't want your property tax to go from $2,000 a year to $3,000 or $4,000 a year, just because some guy who sits in the corner decided he wants to raise the taxes. So I wanted to be part of the process to make sure that my own pocket doesn't get jacked up. I also want to make sure that my kids I put in the good schools, because the taxes that we pay is what helps the school system. So I want to make sure that my kids are put in, and I have 3 very young kids. So it's so many different factors. Want to make sure that I don't pay a lot of taxes, because I don't want them to because they could be corrupt.
In the council, or the Yankee kakra na broforo ya too much. Yankee kakra. What you juma way? What to West was a open bois city of Delaware as a councilman straight. There's nothing in it for you. You don't get anything, but you're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, see, I also work for the state government. I have my full-time job. So that, so you have your regular full-time job, and then that becomes your part-time job that you help, even though I'm not getting paid. You help.
All right, hold on for a minute. I think I have a call coming in.
So you have a regular full-time job.
Hello? Councilman, go on.
Yeah. So basically, like I told you, in Ghana, you have a situation where all of these people are full-time parliamentarians who have never had a job in their life, who have never created jobs. Here, most senators, most state representatives, most councilmen, all of them have some form of business or have had work experience. So we don't get into politics to make money. We get into politics to make sure that we can help people, the local people. See, it's so helpful that you become very familiar in the community, and everybody knows you, and you're able to help someone. We just had all Thanksgiving. Let me go back to Thanksgiving last Thursday, and one of the guys what area who's so corner store. Like, say, come every Thursday, no be when you feel be video. But this guy by himself. As a councilman, it came to my head, said, no, maybe you're wrong. Just like
who break you up?
The fact that so I have to go home and bring him some food. That's part of being a community a community leader. You help your people.
I see. I'm saying now break it. Your kind of man, it's not can be.
Repeat that, please.
Hello.
Yes, I'm here.
Councilman, your kind of man, yes, country all throughout. All right, guys. Councilman's gonna be back, and then we're gonna keep on going, and that's what we're gonna do tonight. Ayabasa, baby, I do know. Ayabasa. Say I know. NDC for MPP for any as tax way. Na me ampata ye nyina ye betua. Wo betua bi. Wo tigana. Wo betua. Metia boche metia. Metia. Me senesika bia metia. It's the MPP for so much monto me say next election you must vote them out as possible because I've been papa bi enum. Yes. I've been papa bi enum. Anyway, me take this opportunity to wait that chair Kevin Taylor, Abra, Emre Aswin. Me de Kevin Taylor na Kevin Taylor, I'm sure. And then who said that when you break, no, I down because Jimmy Semno, adults. It was here, I understand you. But you are a fighter of a difference. On your coupon shall number one. Now, you know, so and koso kama. And for my yina, the Enguswani and Koyanim. On the ground, thank you very much. On the ground, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you for what you have done today, as you do always. Onyame unshrao, bebia, unya mere, anytime. Na wo hwɛ de ekoso. Nyina Nyankopɔn unshra no mpagyaw. Onye kese pa na yen hwɛ de Nyankopɔn ebeye ama yen Ghanafoɔ because bebia nya yen hu akam, yen hu akadwam, enye fɛ airtime. But enim je wade be chen to me. Aye. But you unsubscribe here, but you subscribe to the YouTube channel Safari TV Africa. Okay, Safari TV Africa on YouTube. Boss Safari, na mahwe be Safari. There be Saforo. Type everything. SAFORO space TV space, Africa. Na yenkoye nim. Aye. Na yenkoye nim ni ngusu ye de say. Mama bre weekend my bre akwantuo na de nyina no up and down no ama my bre but me nim say na me ma ho de weekend we ama bibia so akoso kama enti mbacho subscribe also to Loud Silence TV, and with all due respect, it's very, very important that you do so that you can be able to hear every truth that comes in. Nakupo onsha no peja no nyakase me the machine gun preacher. And then me yes asa me da chia honorable komuyeye sa wo hwa me a honorable komuyeye na me onhira honorable komuyeye na me nhira. Your hospitality was you are a great spirited man. You a great man. You are a great man. Your humbleness is just, oh my God. You are a great man, and I know God is going to bless you. God hasn't finished blessing you yet. Honorable komuyeye na me onguso nhira no ma onko wanim don pejao kuma so ginyina onfa enima afi ato nso Nyankopon nhira omere I was say ema me I ato and I cancel my Max there onu abeka obedi kasa and Steven I open Steven also Nyankopon nhira no pejao omere I was say ema me ama yetumi kire Ghana for ya adwen senya na yaye no sa week we may inform we'll do it again. We'll continue to educate Ghanaians. So na be ya Ghana for betia say na Ghana for be hunu say wonti abruchia na betena abruchia wo betia say the reason why we are always angry and cautioning the government to behave very well. Enye easy and that form. Enti mesero bomodia stand up na kuma ukuru. This is wrap up. Your host is Machine Gun Preacher. Mese me maame wo me no oto me kwa me safaro. Ba benyi ye no me hu se me mpen kwasase me mpen samfu nti miame to me hu din Machine Gun Preacher. Ai nti no from Machine Gun Preacher ne be ye na ochina me hama wo mu a afia Schwarzenegger mo any samini mo sa nkrofo no mo ye form no nyina. I'll start hammering them one by one, because as we are all supposed to be paying, all the sweat is going to be on us. When you're going to go buy gas, you will pay. The difference is that sikana utia na mbesa de wadi ama because they give you money. Entino, tomorrow I will talk about these people. If you're sure, I don't know, and ne, very important to the extent say the time Ghana taxpayers money the man no can't question. Anyway, all of you that came through, this is what I have for you, my clap for you tonight. Meda wase won sambo na abetwemu no. Meda wase. Yakobo nsha no mpagyaw. Omani peniyi. It's not about NDC, it's not about MPP. We want the country well. Your person manager nas ne kufado di ye kwechiri. Kufado sell my no. Ne wo Falcon, but that no for ka 28. Sebe. I try no didi. Maka. Jumo odidi no. Aye. Kufado. Jumo odidi no. Or the music never playing. I saw some about Atlanta. I was talking about banana. Obey. Obesa Fanipa. Obey. Obesa Fanipa bear 300 at the can home Aqua Alaska. So Atlanta was a him for no okono. Obesa Fanipa dear woho. Akata for me friend no my man award until they were 2 Ghana plane at the court. Fun kwastia sama kwa uti madina ni ese brabeji gari wo e fe say I will blushia ubeko gari a obenye gari bi madina jimi ese ya ye ka osma me nka jimi ese ya bulu no thinking Akufo-Addo is a generalized man. That's what Bemi the Funche is talking about. Funche. I say, how can a centralized president govern a country? German president. Chia. I don't know. Waka. We are also practicing and trying our best to move to YouTube or Facebook so that we can be able to do what we gotta do. All right. God bless you, and I thank you so much for your time. Nakupo inshira, baby, I will be unim die komano. Na minshira non pejao na koswa na share machine gun preacher. Ahana do krawo. This is wrap up. Ochna by this time. Osan besen humi bium. Ube humenim na ubetimenka na ube hundi emeye. Na wabe hu say yes. Akromfo enso ena ko wiya 7,000. Wo ma chesika no. Sika no ko wiya no. 7,000 no ko wiya no. Wo ma chesika no enso obi anya bi. Eda wonsem. Dwene ho na bisa ho say sa story we efri he na ba ne sen ena akromfo enso ko wiya 7,000. Abmini so bia benya 1,000. Enso ye chesika no right. Omo chesika no enso obi anya bi. Dwene ho Nakupon unshirao na onyo kesiye pa. I love you.